Does this golf club look like yours? Worn out in literally no time at all? I made 2 tiny grip changes to Marc's grip. He's a mid-handicap golfer and a subscriber to the channel, and he saw a huge increase in distance. And I know after he works on this, he could see upwards of 30 yards on a 7-iron, and you can too. Now what Marc is doing is extremely common, so let's not fall into this common category. Let's make your grip better, start holding the golf club better, and start seeing some increase in distance with all golf clubs.
The reason why I'm saying it looks better, because it's going to function better. Not even realise you're making that change just by how you hold it. Right, Marc, so where I want to start with this is I want to link this into why you hit a bit of the push, a little bit heavy one. Why sometimes when you get to the longer irons, you can then get a little bit of the hook. Now, predominantly you hit a nice tight little draw, but I guess under pressure, the bad shot then comes out, or like we said, with the longer clubs. Now, what I want to start with this is just really looking at the way you hold the club. And it's interesting, you play off 13 dead, and you said to me on the way up here that you've never really been shown how to grip the golf club exactly.
Never.
So the way I'd summarise this is we need more of your hand on the club.
Okay.
Right, so I'm going to look at this here. I'm going to link this into why then you would see predominantly a hook shot. So look at the right-hand side of the screen to begin with. We'll show you your grip in a second, but look how you take this club away. Very close. And why I know it's closed is we sort of base this on spine angle. Now, spine angle's here and your club face is here. Can you see how the loft of the club's pointing
down? Yeah.
So we tend to see this position here bring a club that is then very close. Now, again, you told me your patterns of your ball flight, so that's how we can make those links. Now, if we then go to the top of the backswing here, we can then also see how close this club is. And again, we know this because the loft is pointing back towards the camera. You can see like the full face of this. So they're the sort of areas we're seeing wrong, I'm not saying wrong, but what are leading to your bad shot. And for me, it's all stemming from this grip, right? From face on, you can really see here your swing on the left-hand side. Good ball position, good setup apart from the grip. We move off the golf ball a little bit. Swing then gets relatively short. This club is then very closed again. And then on our way through, your release is very much sort of a hold off. You don't tend to release the club. So it's almost like you're always guarding against this happening.
That's
Whereas I want you to unlock a bit more power, have more control, and actually start releasing the club. And you'll start to do a lot of these things just by holding the golf club better. So let's just bring this to life a little bit more. I'm going to place this down. Can I just borrow your club?
Of course you can.
Now, any questions you've got, just fire them away. Because what questions you'll ask, everybody will be like, oh, okay. That's what we've got. So you tend to see where your grip, you wear out, to show everybody your glove here, you tend to wear out this quite a lot. How new is this one then?
This is reasonably new. I would say last 5-6 rounds.
But in general, you wear out here.
Now,
if I ask you, do you have an old one in your bag?
I have, Shall I show
let's
you?
Get an old one out the bag, because this is really interesting. If you've got a glove that I'm guessing looks like this video is for you. Also, if you're struggling with that release, it always going left, or actually going to the right, getting a neutral grip like this will really, really help. Okay, here we go. Right, yes. Look at this.
That is my general wear.
Wearing here. And wearing here. And you probably do this quite quickly. On a set.
I would say so.
Okay. So I'll show everybody here a little bit closer. So your grip is very much like this. Your left hand's not really on the golf club. Now the first thing that I'll tell everybody to have a look at is, well, actually, are your grips thick enough? Well, the question is yes. Sometimes if you'd come to me here and it wasn't a mid-size, that's a mid-size there for everybody. If it was, let's say, a standard, then I'd be like, well, okay, you may be gripping it this way because the grips aren't thick enough for you.
Now, I have had them change within the last 6 months.
Okay, so that's the thing you've done. You've gone thicker, have you?
I went thicker in the last 6 months. Now, it has helped. It has helped a lot.
Good, and that's the first stage. So it's almost like you're already on this journey of making this change.
The journey's been a long one.
And it's the same for everybody, right? So you've got this grip here where the hand isn't really on the club, right? It's sort of in this situation. Now, when it's like this, the word I'd use, it's hard to get leverage. So in essence, in the backswing now, it's hard then to set the golf club like this. Now, if I showed everybody there, this is sort of where we want the toe of the club to be as we move it back. Now, I can feel a lot of strain through my wrist here. What's more comfortable
is bringing my hand back, not
like this, bringing it back really close, and this is exactly what we saw. Now, the situation you then have here on the way through, if I release this, where's the face going to point? Way left. That's your hook.
Yeah.
So then every one of your shots is a lean back and trying to keep the face square. Almost a bit like, I'm not saying
like a cricket shot.
You're doing yourself a disservice there, Mark. It's not that bad, but yeah, it's in that family, right? Yeah. So that then is the way we're sort of trying to hit it straight. Yeah. Now, you do a great job. You've got a great handicap. We just want to get you to get into that single figures, knock 3 to 5 shots off your game. And I really do believe if you can get a better grip, that is the first port of call.
I think that's where I've struggled. I've come to a plateau, being able to get there myself, and with the game, the grip how it was, that's why I can't get any billow.
Right, so can I just get you to grip it as you would before, just to show everybody again, like what sort of situation we're in here. And I'm not saying it's terrible, but I want everybody to think about it this way. How you hold the club is a real indication to how you release the club.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the steering wheel to your shot. So take this hand off for me, and you can sort of see here how much of this hand is off that club, right? I'm going to grab my club for a reference to everybody, and I'm going to come next to you, just this side. Now, can you see how much more my hand sits on it?
Yeah.
Whereas your thumb's you're like this.
Yeah.
My thumb is more on here.
Yeah.
It's more tighter
close,
in.
yeah.
There's more of my hand on the club. So I'm going to get you to feel a little bit more like this. The squishy part is more over. The hand is more on rather than always so off.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Now, other reference points, everybody watching, if your grip is weak, this is really important. This will help you. If you're in the palm, this video will also help you. And if you're someone who's too strong, this video will also help you as well. The really easy way of thinking about this is, pick that basket up for me.
Which hand?
Left hand. You nearly did me in there. Now, look where you've got this, right? You've got it in the fingers, and you've got a real good grip of it.
Yeah.
You've not got this situation where you're sort of pushing this off here, have you?
No.
Because if you did that, I could rip that basket out your hand. Now, this is very thin, so it's harder to get it right. So good decision going on the thicker grips. And that's the example of difference there, actually. So I use standard because I got small hands, whereas you've got...
Slightly bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right, okay, let's do this together. So put the basket down now. We don't need that. I was going to prove a point in that. We want more of that hand on there to have some control.
Yes.
So when we're placing our hand on now, we're really looking to feel that this is closer. Now, what I would say is, you're feeling the pressure through this bit of the thumb, and it's almost like you're shortening it by lifting it up.
Okay.
You might have heard the terms shorten your thumb.
Yeah, okay.
It's almost like you need to shorten it, but we want to try and feel that we're keeping this more of the thumb on, not up, pinching it. And you might then feel that if we get it more sat on this right hand side a little bit, like that, rather than here, you're going to feel it a little more there. So can you see the difference in that? Like,
your fingers are almost touching your palm. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I'm never going to want them to touch, but yours are miles away.
Yeah.
The ideal grip size is that the fingers should just be touching.
Okay.
Not pressing in.
Yeah.
And that's sort of where you look here.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
So let's get that hand on there.
Okay.
I want you just to tell me what that feels like, because everybody with a slight grip issue is going to have the exact same. Right. Cool. Good. That's it. That's the one. How does that feel?
It doesn't feel too different, but it does feel like hands way over this side.
Perfect. And can you see how we've shortened that thumb, but we've got more, sort of, if we sort of highlight this here, you've got this amount of the thumb on, whereas before you were sort of
there.
Like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so feeling it more over. It's like this pad is more on, right?
Okay.
That's it. Now put your right hand on. And what I would say is,
that's where I then start feeling strange.
Okay, so what I would say is, see how you sort of, the thumb now sits on the side?
Yeah.
And then you bring your hand on, you create like a little bit of a crease here, don't you?
Yeah.
Let that fall into that crease. Just nice and relaxed. Let it come down. That. See this crease here? That's it.
Yeah.
Right, cool. Now, have a few practice swings. How does that feel?
Well, very strange.
Yeah.
Starters. And
I'll move that ball out of the way.
It feels like everything's tighter.
Yeah, and what I would say with that, it's because it feels new.
Yeah.
So have a few more practice swings. Get a sort of pattern of movement there that you feel's a little bit different for one, but also cool. Keep going. I'm not going to hit a shot straight away. And this is a really important point. For anybody making a grip change, you want to basically get an idea what the club feels like in your hands. Yeah. So really, it's not too much different, is it? We've just got more of our hand on the club.
But I feel it here.
Yeah. And you're probably seeing more knuckles, right?
Yes.
So before, you wouldn't have seen this area.
No.
And that's because it was like this, weak, and then here. And that was causing you then to work the club closed.
Yeah.
People might go, well, how can weak be closed? But it was impacting how you were moving the club because you couldn't have leverage.
Yeah.
Okay, so do that again. Let's get those hands on the club. So give me the feedback. Does the club feel lighter?
Yeah, I don't feel like before, obviously, I can feel the club moving here. Yeah. I not feeling it. It feels like it's further away from me.
So you feel the club's not re-gripping through the backswing, would you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I like that. I like it. It looks a little stronger, but now we're going to be able to move the club a little better. Right. That's it. 5 shots away. Now, I don't care where any of these 5 go for these first 5. I just want you to relax. I know it's easier said than done on camera. But I want you just to get used to the grip. Like, how many shots have you hit? You said you've been playing for roughly around 10 years.
Yeah.
So you probably hit, let's say, over 1,000 shots a year.
I would imagine so, yeah.
Right, so that's a lot of shots.
Yeah.
So for these first 5, we wouldn't expect them to be massively different. This is something that I want you to build into you and go, okay, and for everybody watching, if you're changing your grip, don't work on anything else during a session. Just work on this. So you get your hand on, your checkpoints are trying to feel more of this on the club.
Yeah, more of my fingers on the...
Not sat over, right, good.
More fingers on the pad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about it, it's more contact points, isn't it?
Yes,
right?
Definitely.
Let's hit a shot. Feels horrible, right?
Yeah.
Go again. Take your hands on and off each time.
Yeah, okay.
So we get it on there. Good. Feel weird?
Yeah.
Wait there. Just fall in, that's it. And this
bit lower.
Bit lower, and just relax this hand. You're trying to get your hand over with this.
Yeah.
I don't need that. Just, then it can sit there. Okay. That's it.
Okay.
So really, I think about it this way, the grip. It's almost like you're wringing out a towel.
Yeah.
They're coming together as you wring it out. If you look at my hands here, they're coming together.
Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, don't feel like I'm choking it.
Yeah, and look, by all means, these first 5 you are going to choke because it's new. Cool, and again, so straight away the face isn't what? It isn't as...
Oh, it's not as closed.
Closed, right, okay, good.
And I presume that's why you're getting...
100%, you hit the nail on the head there. And a little bit out the heel. 2 more. Okay. Just keep persevering with this. I did say you'd have some intermediate pain, and this is the intermediate pain.
Yeah.
Now think about this, right? And why are we hitting it right? So before, you had this grip and it worked under. You were really closed. And your release style was like this. Now we've made the club sit in the hand better. We're now not as close on the way back, but we've still got the same release style.
Okay.
So why would a ball go?
Well, you're going that way because you're pushing it
exactly, but that's how before you kept the club face square.
Yeah.
So this is why you can't hit the panic button. When you're changing your grip, you'll start to react a little bit differently, but you just got to hit a few shots.
Okay.
Awesome strike. Now that's a beautiful strike, but where do we just leave it?
Well, you just leave it outright.
And how did that last shot feel?
It felt much better.
Okay, good. I'm just going to get a little video on this one. So all I would say, relax.
Yeah. And that's the...
Before, you wouldn't release the club. Now, this is not a lesson on release, but what I'm saying to you now is you're moving the club better just by holding it better. So you can release that club.
Yeah.
You can let this go. We'll talk about this in a future lesson, right? But let's just get
used to
get used to the club moving. So wait there. Let's have a little video here. Now, how was that shot?
Much better. Felt better. Didn't feel like I was wrestling with the club as much.
Is that in comparison to normal as well?
Yeah.
Right, let's have a little look at this here. Right, this is so much better. Now, I'm going to bring in your other shots, just because I think it's good just to show you from that down the line how your hands were on this club before. Okay, so the right hand side is the start, the left hand side is the new. Now, straight away, I want you to look at some really, really important things before we even show you the swing differences, right? Can you see how now I can see the glove hand?
Yeah, glove hand, and really can see more the back of my right hand.
Yeah. Whereas look at it here. Also, can you see how much lower your handle's sitting?
Yes.
Now that's really important. Your handle was really high, but that's because of how you were holding it.
Yep.
Now you can let this go lower. So in the longer term, you can then release the club better.
Okay.
You also started from a much better starting position. Look how these hands in the golf club almost sort of make like one line here.
Yeah.
Whereas we want it to be
kind of lower. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like I hate saying this, oh, it looks better. But the reason why I'm saying it looks better, because it's going to function better. That's the most important thing here. Right, so on the right-hand side is where you started. Really, really closed, right?
Yeah.
Now, we're still closed, but
not to the same degree.
Not to the same degree.
Yeah.
That's
pretty much the first one, literally down at the floor.
Whereas now, let's just sort of say you were literally down here before, now we're sort of this way.
Yeah.
So in the grand scheme of things, I'll draw them both on here. That's where you were.
Yeah.
And we'll put it in green. That's sort of where you are now.
Yeah. Okay.
That's just with hitting, what we hit? 5 shots?
Yeah.
And you've got that club to work differently. Now let's have a look at the top. Look at the difference in this. It's actually travelled a bit further. But if I zoom in at the top of the club, look how more of the club is pointing back, less of the club's pointing back. It's almost started to be this way a little bit, whereas this is all back towards us. Now these are only subtle, but this is you not even realise you're making that change just by how you hold it.
Yeah.
So I come back to this. What we're looking for is the differences of how we're dressing it here. We've got more of the glove showing, which is a really good point. You look at any top player, this is the sort of scenario we have.
Okay.
The hands aren't high, and they've got, not saying all their hand on the club, because that would tend to be palmy, but you've got a great hold.
Yeah,
and we start to improve that takeaway. So awesome. What I'd say here is we need to take a few more shots, getting the idea of the feeling of where the club is, and for anybody like this, like I said before, have a single session on your grip. But the important points are, we've got these padded bits more closer to the club, and we've got our hand a bit more over, and what we call is a bit more extension, not flexion. You were very much in this position with this left hand addressed like this, whereas now we're more like this.
Yeah,